Good morning, Vita here, and this is Hippie Crow Hub. And we are going to merge these two jackets together. And we're gonna crossbreed them, we're gonna marry them, we're gonna mix and match them. And I hope it's gonna be a whole new cool funky look. Now both of these jackets are pretty nice. I wore this one a couple of times and it is super nice, but it's not a vintage jacket, so I'm not gonna be reselling it as a vintage. And this is a H&M jacket, which it's cute here on the back, but I'm also not gonna be reselling it on its own, and I'm a little bit bored of it, and there's always new stuff coming my way since I do a lot of thrifting. So I am going to do something funky with these things. I love the MTV sign at the back, but I'm going to cut that out and I'm going to use it for something else. And we're going to fill up the back with probably the leftover fabric of this jacket. Anyway, I've got some ideas. I'm going to do some cutting. I'm going to criss and cross. The reason I'm not even facing the camera at myself, because I'm kind of not in the mood to point it at me right now. And yesterday I have procrastinated the entire day and didn't get this done. So I'm just gonna go with the flow and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna start with this denim jacket and I'm going to use zigzag scissors to cut both. Now with denim it doesn't really matter because it looks good when it frays. But with this type of fabric, you really need zigzag scissors because it frays like crazy. So, and again, before anybody tells me, don't destroy these beautiful jackets, I'm like, you know what? Go check out a thrift because there's so much stuff out there. And I am not creating waste. I am using what's already been in a thrift prior to me already wearing it for a couple of years, and now I'm going to funk it up and pass it on to someone else. So this is not me ordering a China factory to produce me a ton of new toxic fabrics. This is me reusing what's already being used and has been finished and done with by already a couple of people before it got to this part. So this jacket is gonna get funky. So let's get funky here. So I want to cut off this whole bottom section because I want to use this bottom to attach onto this jacket after I cut it, because I want to do it like a short length. So I definitely have some plans here, but bear with me. You're gonna get to see the final results, and hopefully it works out as I plan. The problem with some thicker denim parts is that this gets harder to sew, especially if you don't have a heavy duty sewing machine like me. My sewing machine is very basic, but soon I'm gonna buy another one, and I need to buy a machine that does the overlock. I need a serger, not just a sewing machine like that, and ideally I need a sewing machine that is heavy duty. So I'm probably at the end of this month going to buy one because I'm doing pretty good with my selling this month. So let's just see what happens. But for now, we're gonna have to work this. If some thicker bits cannot be done with a sewing machine, we will have to do some parts hand stitching. But that's okay. Okay, even it's thick for the scissors. We're getting there. There. Okay, so this is going to become the bottom of the other blazer. It's gonna be a lot of mix and match happening. So next step, I'm going to cut this out. I plan to use this for some other patchwork that I'm going to do. I have some scraps of denims, and I also bought more old denims, just jeans, that specifically for cutting them up and making some new jackets and some cool upcycled patchwork style clothing. I really love working with denim, and this kind of stuff sells well. So we're gonna do that. Now we need to remove the sleeves, and the skeleton of this will be this one. I'm cutting it right next to the stitch, because if I sew anything on top of that, I will just tuck it under and would leave this original finishing off the denim. But with the blazer, I'm gonna cut a little bit different because of the way I plan to sew this together. Okay, so the sleeves are gonna go crisscross. We're gonna get mixed up. And zigzag does help, because immediately you can see that the fabric is not like running right away, it's quite intact. So I do recommend zigzag scissors for this kind of situations. Then you don't have to worry so much of having to do double folds, especially when you're working thick fabrics like these. There's no way I could double fold it and sew it together, because it would just be too thick to run it over and it will become bulky. So this is a good solution. All right, so we have this skeleton now that we're gonna put to the side. So that's all there is. But these are the good bits. These are the bits we don't wanna mess with. Okay, let's cut this up now. Blazer, blazer. You've been good to me, you've been nice. But you know, like I said, I like to have a little fun with the outfits, but I don't have a lot of opportunities where I feel like I want to dress up. And during the week, I'm usually literally in like my tracksuits and pajamas and whatever the most comfortable, I don't care kind of outfit that I have, because I have to be ready to do some yoga and jump to the kitchen, cook and sew. So I really don't have time for like fashion or anything like that. But on the weekend, if I go somewhere, if I go to some event, I like to like pull up some cool outfit. And to be honest, even though I do wear the same clothes over and over again, but it happens with a particular type of clothes, not all of them, but some items I don't want to keep re-wearing it, because I'm like, well, this is a very specific look and I don't want to keep wearing. So there you go. So we are going to cut this. Where are we gonna cut it? Maybe here, right in between the button. Should we cut in the button? Okay, let me think. If I am going to attach this on top, okay, and I plan to put it literally over it. I don't want to do like the under or tuck. I want it to be like kind of scrawny looking. So there's pockets. Now pockets are gonna go, so forget about the pockets if I attach these together. Oh, that could work. Okay, let's do here like I originally planned. Chop, chop, chop. I'm blocking slightly. I love to use the lines of the fabric to cut it instead of like drawing and measuring. If you pay attention, this one has patterns, right? But if you pay attention to any fabric, it has its own lines anyway, even if it's a plain fabric, and you can go with that to cut it straight. You know, I do my cooking in the same way. I just wing with it. You know, some people need a measurement spoon for like how much salt to put where. I just use a good old pinch. You know, practice allows you to go with stuff without having to like measure. Okay, so this is probably going to become a filler for the jacket at the back. So we have this cut. Okay, this I want to remove because this is a very thick layer that I don't need. This is like the bottoms of the pocket. Hello, hello, there you go, I showed my face today. All right, so now we are going to sew this together. I think I'm going to use this thick thread. It is kind of like a silky, it's heavy duty thread. I don't know how it's called exactly, but it's, as if you can see, it's a lot thicker than like the standard one. If that makes sense. So this one is good for thin fabrics, but whenever I sew denim, this one doesn't do the job. It's too fragile. So I use this one to really secure the stuff together. Okay, I'll set up the sewing machine and I'll be back. Okay, this is set up now. I hope the thickness of the fabrics are gonna be able they're gonna be handled by the sewing machine. But first I'm gonna do like a first testing stitch a little bit away of the original line where I want it to be when I turn the jacket like outwards and for it to be neat. So I'm gonna do away from it first, just to remove all those pins, because pins make it a little bit bumpy. And then after that stitch, I'll do another stitch closer to the line here of the shoulder, and hopefully that will make it neater. And then I will cut away the excess fabrics that I don't, you know, so it doesn't like bulk up too much, if that makes sense. Okay, here we go, let's go. We need some techno music. Yeah, here we go, let's go, let's go. Come on, let's go. Someone get me a jingle. Okay, it's not perfect. I got some bumpy a little bit happening, but what can be done what can be done is that I can add a denim like line on top to simply cover up these connections of the stitches, and that could work, I think. So I'm not gonna mess around too much now. I'm just gonna go with it, and then we'll sort out the neatness and the tidiness aspects. Originally, what I was thinking of doing is cutting off the sleeves of the blazer and then tucking it in, hand stitching it so it has this kind of like a little like this effect, and then putting the denim jacket under that stitch and hand stitching it too. So then it creates this kind of like a 80s a little bit vibe of the shoulders. But then I thought, nah, it's too much work. I'm a little bit lazy. So I did this, and now I'm thinking I just created more work for myself because it doesn't look finished because it was bulky. And like from far, you can't tell. But if you look closer, it's like not ideal. So I am going to find some sort of like denim that I can cut up into like lines like this, and I'm going to put it over, and it's gonna be like a funky like a decoration thing. It will cover up the unintentional mess, but it will create an intentional cool little funky mess. Okay, so we're gonna save this, don't worry, it's all good. That's what I mean, sometimes you gotta go with it, and it's all learning process. So even when you mess up something a little bit, you can come up with something else. how to fix it. So no problem. Okay, let's do the bottom part. Bottom part is easy here. It is not anything complicated. So I'll do that first, and then I'm gonna go ahead and rescue the rest. Boop. Okay. Also, what helps is to avoid doing zigzag on thick fabrics with the sewing machine that is not heavy duty, because I find that when I do the zigzag, I break the needle easily because it kind of goes at an angle. Another thing, I don't reverse. These are the two things that I cannot do with the not heavy duty sewing machine on thick fabrics like that. So yeah, if I reverse, the same thing, a needle goes at an angle and it breaks. If I do straight stitch only and find a way to do everything I need like that, then I can get away with it. But it's definitely time for me to get another sewing machine. Ta-da! A broken needle! Woohoo! Okay. Started going extra fast. Now let's change the needle. Literally just as I was about to finish the whole thing off, but this is usually how it goes in life. You're that close, and it's like boom. Okay, start over. Well, not completely start over, but you know what I mean. Okay, so I found the solution for the shoulders. I just popped the jacket over and it looks super neat. This is a really weird angle that I'm in. Anyway, I found this denim jacket that my kids were wearing, and it's getting like small, and now it's summer, so the summer is over, so they're not gonna wear it anymore. And I already put on the side for upcycling. So I am going to remove the bottom line and then this line with these buttons, and I'm gonna add them here, so it's gonna have like studs here, so it's gonna be really cool. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Like it's gonna have to be no choice but a hand stitch, so I couldn't dodge that. So it's gonna take a little while, but you know what? It's getting me the excitement boost because I'm starting to see that, as usual, some mistakes lead to even more cool looking situations. All right, guys, so I constructed the first jacket and it looks sweet, and I'm gonna show you the final result at the end of this video. Now let's complete this, and now suddenly that I have it all laid out, my idea is completely changed of what I'm going to do, which that's how it goes with me. So I thought I will attach these sleeves to the jacket, but then I'm like, I'm repeating exactly the same recipe, and also the sleeves would be a little bit short because I cut them kind of like with a little bit extra fabric left by the shoulders. And the denim jacket sleeves are nice and long because originally the sleeves were like really long of this, so that's just perfect. I like it that way. Now, so I opened up the sleeves, so I'm not gonna do the sleeves as sleeves. I'm gonna use this to fill up this back square that is left here. And then this, now this is crazy idea that I just came up with. I am going to try to turn this into a hood and have it like as a decorational hood coming out of this jacket. So the hood and the back will be matching. And now this will not have any sleeves, it will be a vest. And I don't know, maybe I will decorate the front with a couple of dark denim patches from this just to balance out the color. But we'll see when I'm there. So for now, this is my plan, to try to add this in here and then the hood. Alrighty, my friends. So this little guy, I love. This is very cute one. I love how it turned out. Even the shoulder, unplanned and unexpected spontaneous decisions. It just, oh my God, look at this. My wall pins fell out and I've still got it in my hands. Okay, it's mwah. This whole thing just worked out perfectly. Now this one, it's like, okay, it's not that amazing. So what happened with that hood thing situation, so I attached the hood and then it was kind of a bit long, so I decided to pierce like ribbons through it. So the idea was cute, but in reality just wasn't vibing. The hood was just neither looking good hanging on the back of the vest and neither looking good on over the head. So I decided to rip it out. And I went with like less is more kind of situation. So this is literally that, and I added a little bit extra denim at the back, and the front is plain. And I'm not sure as of right now if I want to add anything on the front, because I kind of feel like I said, less is more kind of situation here. But I really love this one. This one is the thing. And like I said, sometimes you just gotta experiment and go with the flow and, you know, feel it out. And sometimes our expectations don't look as awesome in reality, but that is also okay. And yeah, so I did not film the process of this because this is like really obvious what I've done. Just a square there and a little extra piece of fabric. So yeah, I'd say this is like the main item of the show. This is the it one, and that one is like, all right, well, we got this extra thing. So I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. And okay, I'm gonna throw in also a little video with how it looks on me, but not right now. Okay, anyway, I will love you and leave you and see you next week. Got a lot more sewing to do, so I'm gonna entertain you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't yet, or push notification button so you don't miss the video that comes out every Monday, 10 a.m. Bye!